With one stroke occurring every 19 minutes, stroke is the third most common cause of death in Australia and the leading cause of disability. And stroke rehabilitation is exhausting, with many patients experiencing a loss of mobility, weakness of the body, memory loss, cognitive impairment, fatigue, as well as depression. And a patient's recovery setting has a strong influence on their mental health, with far fewer patients experiencing depression in community-based settings. In order for a stroke rehabilitation facility to have a positive influence on a patient's recovery, all patient rooms should have access to natural light and views of the outdoors. And the facility should not only be easy to navigate, but corridors should be used as social spaces and therapy areas, encouraging patients to emerge from their rooms. And finally, outdoor and green spaces should be maximised in order to facilitate human interaction as well as deliver well-being benefits. This project divides the stroke rehabilitation process into 3 stages. In the first stage, patients lack mobility and are confined to their rooms and other rooms inside the facility. In the second stage, patients regain some mobility and are able to utilise the outdoor and green spaces within the grounds. And in the third stage of recovery, the patient is able to move freely without assistance and can access amenities that are within a 5-minute walk. The purpose of this project is to redesign the stroke rehabilitation facility in Caulfield to encourage positive recovery, enhance the urban spaces within the facility between the rehab building and the hospital cafe, and encourage the movement of patients between the hospital and the activity centre through the use of green streets and shaded rest areas.
To make them feel as stress-free and as comfortable as possible during their recovery. The natural light and views of the outdoors contributes to the patient's well-being, and the room is designed to encourage the patient to get up and move around the facility. Stepping outside the room, patients have a view of the 3 green courtyards and social gathering spaces. The central location of the green spaces means that they'll always be within the patient's view, no matter where they are within the facility. Green spaces have a significant stress relief benefits, while also providing a chance for social connectivity. As we move back into the building, we can see the centralized administration center and the waiting room. Straight ahead is a small studio for indoor social activities, as well as all passageways have views of green spaces and are wide enough to allow for seamless travel between spaces and to avoid congestion. Here we can see the entrances of private therapy rooms, as well as vertical circulation and fire escapes. An on-site cafe within the center provides patients with easy to access hot and cold food, as well as beverages. Here is a small conference room where meetings can be held between staff members as well as staff and patients. Up ahead is a neural gym for stroke patients, which can provide independent gym and supervised physiotherapy services for patients. Once patients have begun to regain their mobility, they are able to progress into the next stage of recovery.
Aim of this stage is to encourage the patient to come out of the rehabilitation center, use the outdoor spaces and access on-site cafe following a layered pathway. This experiential route aims to expand their capabilities and helps to bring them back to their conventional lives. Reaching the path in itself is a journey of targets which a patient overcomes by walking along a planar horizontal surface towards sloped walkways and stepped ponds which lead directly to the cafe. Along the journey, varied setting is strategically placed in shaded areas and recreational spaces with bright color schemes at each level make the patient feel more motivated to keep moving forward.
As a patient enters the 3rd stage of recovery and is able to move freely without assistance, it's important that they're slowly and comfortably integrated back into society. The tree-lined street connects the rehabilitation facility to the local activity centre, and the strategic placement of benches enables a patient to have frequent rests in cool, shaded spots. And the combination of these social spaces and the constant exposure to nature contribute to improving the patient's well-being throughout recovery.